I've been lucky enough to perform on that very stage actually. It's called the Westgate now, obviously the International, but I was on that very stage that Elvis done, I think 600 sold out plus shows. And what's so special about this EPiC, there's unseen footage of Elvis walking backstage and everything. And that elevator that Elvis gets to at the end of the movie is the elevator that I would have got onto after my show and going up towards the show. And when he's sat around in the backstage area where he gets Charlie Hodge to do that weird face and everything staring down the camera, that was
Yeah.
my dressing room whilst I was there for the show. So being able to see all these moments, just Elvis in that, like that really, that was emotional for me. That was like a moment where I was like, wow, that's just so special that I've been able to experience that. And you can really feel the presence of Elvis if you ever get the chance to go to Vegas, go to the Westgate, because you can really feel the presence of Elvis there.
Oh my God.
Rage Whale. Special guest episode.
Kevin Drew just watched the new Baz Luhrmann documentary EPiC, Elvis Presley in Concert. So who best to talk to about this than Emilio Santoro, the award-winning ultimate Elvis tribute artist who was awarded specifically by Elvis Presley Enterprises at the very Graceland. So we go into detail on this film and talk about Emilio's success as a tribute artist, traveling the world, singing some of the greatest songs to ever exist by the greatest voice and personality to ever exist. Enjoy. Welcome back to Ragewell, guys. Today we've got a special episode. We're doing a very Elvis specific episode, as you know, in celebration of the new Baz Luhrmann documentary EPiC that's just come out. And with us today, we have the ultimate Elvis tribute artist, champion, multi-award winning from Western Supermare. We have Emilio Santoro. How you doing, man?
I'm great, thank you, Kev. Thank you, Drew, for having me on. I'm looking forward to being here and speaking to you guys about this new movie as well. So I think it's a very exciting time for Elvis fans.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, to put into context, my partner Sadie, she has seen the documentary 5 times this week.
Oh, she's beat me by 2.
Oh,
She's done well.
she's beat you by more than that. She's going on Friday and Saturday as well.
Oh, fair play, good girl.
Wow.
That's what we want. That's what we want.
Yeah. And then, as you mentioned a minute ago, to celebrate you as well, I'm wearing Elvis hoodie.
I love it.
which
I love it.
Me
You're
and
coming for
Sadie,
my job now. You're coming for my job, Kev.
me and Sadie bought a Elvis full jump, not the jumpsuit. It's like a hoodie and trousers.
Oh yeah, I've
And
seen those ones before.
yeah. It might be a little bit cheesy. They're not as good quality as the stuff you wear, but yeah, we're going to wear them going on the plane to Graceland soon as well. So,
Awesome. Well, I'm there this weekend. I'm literally flying there on Thursday. So
are
that's why
you?
I'm over here. Yeah, I'm over here in the States at the minute. But I'll be flying over to Graceland on Thursday for the shows this weekend. So that'll be fun.
Oh, amazing. So when this goes out, we're putting this out quickly. Normally we do like a month behind, but because the Elvis film's in the cinema, this is going to go out next
Of
week.
course. Yeah.
But yeah, where exactly are you in the States at the moment?
I'm actually in New Jersey at the minute, visiting some friends, and then going over to New York tomorrow to watch this new Bobby Darin musical show. So I'm looking forward to that. But
Oh, nice.
but I'm over here mainly just for the shows this weekend with Graceland, which is still a pinch me moment, by the way. I mean, I've been an Elvis fan since the age of 4, and the fact that I'm coming over here to like be booked by Graceland and Elvis Presley's estate for shows is just mind blowing. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, me and Drew were talking about it. It's insane. Because do you mind me asking how old you are?
I'm 23. Yeah, so this is my 10th year being an Elvis tribute act. I started when I was 13, which I think is a bit different to a normal 13-year-old lad from Western Supermare. I don't know what normal lads would be doing, but I can guarantee you it's not them growing out their sideburns, slicking back their hair, and singing Elvis songs. But I mean, I love it. I love it.
What a dream, though, man. What an absolute
Yeah,
dream.
100%. I mean, I started it just because I was a massive Elvis fan. I never could have imagined it becoming my full-time job, but getting to go to these amazing theaters, all these amazing countries, like it's a pinch me moment every time I get to come over here to the States. But it's crazy what this one man has been able to give me personally as my life now. So it's crazy. Nearly 49 years after his passing, and people are still coming to the shows, buying tickets to watch the movies, and it's great to see.
Incredible. Have you noticed a change recently as well? Obviously I've been a fan of Elvis since I was a child as well, like yourself.
Right.
My mum played it constantly, so it was always in
It's exactly
house.
like me. That's right.
Yeah,
We
you
didn't have a choice.
Yeah, it was just there. Yeah.
Baptism into Elvis.
Exactly. Just
But like today, and like in the like noughties and the 20s, like in the last sort of 10, 15 years, there was partly like it was more older people that you'd see it. But obviously, the shows there was probably a higher percentage older female crowd. But there's
100%.
coming in now.
It's so I remember when I used to go to the shows. It was never really like people, because I was born in 2002, and I think I started going to the shows maybe 07, 08, just local theatre in Weston-super-Mare, watching some of the Elvis tributes, and I was always the only young guy there. I was 4, 5 years old, 6 years old, in the little jumpsuits with a cheap little wig on and everything, watching the shows. But I was always the youngest guy there. But I feel like in these last, I don't know, I'd say 4 years since the Baz Luhrmann Elvis movie with Austin Butler, I think the average age has definitely gone down. There's been a lot of younger audience members come to the shows, and I've met loads of people at the meet and greets after the shows who said, "Oh, I've been an Elvis fan since the Elvis movie." And I think that's what's such a good thing about what Baz is doing right now with the new EPiC movie, with the Austin Butler movie a few years ago. It's really given like a new cease of life to this whole Elvis industry. Because there is a few times where people are saying that they're worried it's gonna die out. But the thing is about Elvis, his legacy, everyone always thought in '77 when he passed away, they thought he's done now. But like 49 years later, we're still listening to the music. He's still sort of selling out all these venues that they're putting on Elvis shows. And there's only one artist that I can think of that can do that, and that's really Elvis.
100%. I said that film made such a huge impact, because again, my partner Sadie, she's been a fan of Elvis all her life, but it's been not dormant, but it's not been part of her daily life. And when that Elvis, when Baz Luhrmann hit with that, I have not listened to Elvis every day, and I don't put it on. She puts it on. It's in the house all the time, every morning in the shower.
It's great to see, honestly. But like, it was getting to the point where it was a lot of the older generation, and I think naturally people were starting to get worried if legacy is gonna carry on forever. But ever since like Baz Luhrmann and Graceland have started doing all these, even this last year, they've been able to do loads of things related to Elvis, like cartoons and stuff like that even. But they're just keeping Elvis. Agent Elvis. I love that personally. I know it got a bit of a mixed review. I love that. I thought it was great.
Wasn't it? Matthew McConaughey.
That's right.
That's swearing and weird stuff going on in that as well.
It is. I think, but that's the thing. They're trying to keep it new to the times and everything. I feel like they're trying to get a younger audience in. I know that Agent Elvis wasn't really a favorite with the elder generation of Elvis fans, but I think they're just trying to find a new way of keeping Elvis relevant with this next generation coming through. And I personally loved it. But I think it's great. Anything that's keeping Elvis in the limelight, keeping his legacy going in a respectful way, I think I'm happy as an Elvis fan.
Isn't that the irony as well? I think I saw a clip from Baz Luhrmann talking about it today, in fact, but it's been something you'll know well of, is that Elvis was quoted in sort of the 70s saying, "I don't feel like I've done enough, or will people remember?" Yeah. He never left America, really, apart from in the army. So he had no idea the global impact he had, and if Colonel Tom Parker wasn't the person he was, he would have traveled and probably would have still
100%. 100%, but I think it speaks volumes about how massive Elvis was, that he didn't even need to tour these countries to be known as well. And like it's crazy now. Like I think him going to like Elvis being in all these cinemas, they're producing it and promoting it as the Elvis World Tour, which I think is genius, and I think it's quite emotional thinking about it that he's actually able to finally do that now. But Elvis is loved everywhere. I mean, some of the places I've been offered shows like Singapore, Malaysia, Kazakhstan, like some of the most random places that you just wouldn't like imagine. But Elvis is just known everywhere. I think there's only one person you can say their first name and people know who it is, and that's Elvis.
That's
Go on, Drew.
Oh no, I was going to say that's why I couldn't believe the actual acronym for EPiC is Elvis Presley in concert, and I was like, again, another boom moment. Of course,
crazy.
It's EPiC. It can't be anything but like that's amazing.
Just a quick message to thank you all for listening to our show, whether it's through Spotify, Apple, or YouTube. If you are enjoying, why not follow, click to subscribe, and leave a 5-star review. Also, a reminder to follow us on Instagram and TikTok for fun clips from the show. We love and appreciate your support, and thanks for sharing us with friends. This helps us to grow, improve, and continue creating. Now, back to the conversation.
Honestly, the way that they're doing it as well, like this whole unseen footage, like they've known that they've had the footage for a while, but they didn't know where it was. But I know that they've got a lot more footage that they haven't brought out yet. But I think it's great that they're just sort of drip feeding it, because they know in a few years' time they can then bring out this new footage again that people haven't seen, and it's then just keeping Elvis relevant. Which I think Graceland, I take my hats off to them. It's a great way of promoting Elvis to the next generation. I mean, as an Elvis fan, I want to see it all right now, but you know, I respect what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean that's the great thing about it as well, is that it showed Elvis's real true character. And I love the fact, because like the film Elvis showcased a whole plethora of his life, and it did end obviously sadly, but the EPiC, I'm so glad that it focused on his happiest moments and the celebration.
Yeah.
So positive, and
that's what I was so looking forward to that, because I know the way that they're promoting it leading up to it, it was just Elvis in his prime and just Elvis at his happiest times when he's on stage, because that's the time that he was the happiest. I mean, I was lucky enough, I was actually over at Graceland the week that they released it for premiere actually at Graceland. So I was at the premiere in Graceland at the Guest House Theatre, and I was sat right behind Jerry Schilling, Elvis's best friend. I was sat behind some of the Stamps Quartet, the Blackwood Quartet, like the people who was literally on stage with Elvis, and now on the screen in front of me were literally sat right in front of me, and I'm just there doing shows with them that weekend, speaking with them, and it's just incredible. It's incredible the life that I've been able to live now, but also incredible to get these chances to speak to people who give me an insight on my idol, who as a kid was always so unreachable, but now I can speak to these people who have like first-hand experience with him. It's like,
you're like walking,
crazy.
You're like walking in his shoes now, Emilio. Do you know what I mean? That's what's amazing.
Yeah, I mean they're big shoes.
Boy,
yeah.
And now you're kind of fulfilling those cool shoes and singing and kind of taking.
Yeah, I mean 100%. They're big shoes to fill. They're big shoes to fill. But I know, and I always explain to the audience that there will only ever be one Elvis. I don't say that I'm Elvis Presley. I don't act like I'm Elvis off stage. Obviously, when I'm on stage, I'm trying to play the character, but I always make sure to get across that it's my personal tribute to someone who I grew up with, sort of, and idolize and still idolize now. So I think a lot of the Elvis tributes, they get a bad rap for trying to take Elvis's crown or just work. But I think if you do it in a respectful way and you make the audience realize that you're actually Elvis fans as well, the only difference is that you can sing. That's pretty much it, to be honest. But no, I love what I do, and just these opportunities that I get to do now and everything that they're bringing out now as an Elvis fan is very exciting times for sure.
See, man, you reinvigorated, you personally, not Elvis, you specifically invigorated my love for him a bit more as well, because as I said, since the Elvis film came out, my partner said he's been obsessed, and we've gone to so many Elvis performances,
right,
to the point where it's like, you know, without being rude, the fat guy in the pub that just does Elvis covers,
I get it.
To all these sort of things. And I was getting a bit bored because they weren't that great, some of them, and they either look all right but can't sing like him. And I think the vocals are more important.
Oh, 100%.
And the irony is, looking at you, we didn't know what you looked like. Sorry about the cat. We didn't know what you looked like without the sort of makeup and the effects on your face. And when we saw what you looked like afterwards, we were like, what? And I know you look similar to a degree, but you put so much effort into the costumes, the hair.
Of course, yes.
And I was put off a little bit. I thought, we're going to see a young guy doing it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you nailed it better than
No, I
anyone.
get it. I think the thing is, I mean, when people think of Elvis tribute acts, they automatically think of that stereotypical, like big guy in a jumpsuit sort
Yeah.
of. The thing is, there's so many great Elvis tributes, but then people just automatically go to that because that's just what the stereotypes become. And I respect any guy who has the confidence to go up on stage and sing, but also at the same time, personally, as an Elvis fan, I feel like some people should just sit back and just be an Elvis fan. Like you can't just put a jumpsuit on and pay tribute to Elvis. Like this is something that has to be done respectfully because you're keeping Elvis's image alive at the same time, and that's what Graceland want as well. So when I won the competition, they do they have a meeting with the 5 judges and they do a one-on-one interview for people who make the top 10 because they basically do this interview because you could be the best Elvis tribute on earth, but if you don't represent Elvis off stage in a respectful way, that's gonna tarnish their image that they want to have of Elvis. So it's all of these different factors that go into it. But I tend to do the younger Elvis years, being 23. I only go up to 1968. I don't try any of the jumpsuits because I always say to myself, I don't want to look like a fetus in a jumpsuit. I think it's too early for me. So I've got plenty of time for that, and I'll be joining you with one of those Elvis sweatshirts. I'll be matching you.
Well, mate, we saw you. I think it was November. You were at Ellesmere Port.
Ellesmere Port, yeah, the Civic Hall.
Yeah. So I'm in Chester. I even got a video of Sadie reaching out and you grabbing her hand as well.
Oh, yeah.
And she went dancing down the front when they were doing all that. But the thing I personally loved about your show is that apart from the fact that you do costume changes for different eras that you do, and I know from researching you've done loads of other things that we didn't see that you've got in your back pocket. But it was the acting. You treated some of the scenes like a theatre production, like the 68 comeback when you sat around with all the guys and you're mimicking the what Elvis was saying when he was laughing and making jokes.
Yeah.
What made you come up with that idea rather than just singing a bunch of songs?
See, I think that the thing is, there's so many amazing Elvis shows in these theatres, especially here in the UK. The UK is such a small circumference, really, compared to when you're coming over to here in America. But there's so many Elvis tribute touring shows that you want to make sure that you stand out. And I think a lot of the guys now, they will just go up on stage and sing the songs, which I think is a great way of just basically having a party. But in my personal way, if I've got that setting where I can use the theatre to my advantage, where I can personally tell the story, an accurate story of my idol, and like tell people the story, educate people whilst having a party at the same time, and sort of hopefully gather new Elvis fans along the way, telling them about the story. I think that's a more powerful way of paying tribute to him, because you're not only paying tribute to the entertainer, you're paying tribute to the man himself as well. So I think I love that. I mean, I grew up watching all these Elvis videos, so every time that I get to recreate some of these songs, like I know when I do If I Can Dream or Hound Dog, I know which way Elvis is pointing his hand, I know which way he's holding his microphone, I know that he'll have this finger down once he's got his hand up in the air. Like, and just get him to do those moments on the stage, that's where I get a kick out of it, because I can sort of imagine it in my head whilst then sort of emulating it on the stage. And then when people actually pick it up in the audience, like you've just said that you've noticed that, that's when I know that I'm doing something right, that people can pick up on it and say, oh, I remember Elvis doing that, for example.
Yeah.
Again, so I appreciate that.
We've watched all this stuff to the nth degree, and the little movements you did, you're like, well, that's the right kind of movement for that kind of song.
Yeah.
Like, he's not just doing a standard Elvis move on all songs. It's like specific,
yeah, of course.
And again, I didn't know. I went in blind. I didn't know you changed costumes. So when it had the music, when you were off stage for a minute, where it's the educational sort of information, then you popped back on and started, in the army suit. It was like, what the hell?
Yeah. And we've even changed it this year as well. So like this whole, because we've toured that for that show that you would have seen in November, we've torn that show for I think the last 2 years previously. So we've actually changed it up this year, and we're actually paying tribute more to Elvis's early era, where we go all the way back from 1954, where he first started out, recorded That's All Right Mama, and even did the first, and then there's a little section where I did Elvis's first song, My Happiness, where he recorded for his mother, Gladys, in 1953.
Oh.
So it's always just trying to change it about. But I think when people can come to the show and hear Elvis songs that they love, but I think I get a kick out of doing some of the rare songs where they'll be like, I've not heard Elvis sing that song before. And then they'll hear me sing it and then go on Spotify and hear Elvis sing it 10 times better than what I did it. So I think that's the best way to do it.
No, it's so good. Drew put so much effort into his. Like, you've got the Creoles as well that's singing backing for you as well.
Yeah, they're great. They're all Elvis fans as well, so they get it. So it's great having fellow Elvis fans on the stage, and we're all just getting a kick out of it.
Well, I was going to say, do you have an acting background? Because like the way that you can take on the persona of Elvis and mimic some of those moves and really kind of almost recreate moments from the past.
Yeah.
Or is it just because you're such a big fan that you just know it so well that it's almost second nature?
Yeah, I would say that I've never really had an acting background as such. I mean, I was in an operatic society for a year where I played, I was in Cats the Musical. So that was probably the closest thing I've got to acting, but it's definitely something I've always been interested in. I've been offered a few acting roles, but just some that I don't really want to be involved in yet because I just want to sort of ride this wave as much as I can at the minute. But I've always been so interested in acting. I mean, it's like Elvis. Elvis always wanted to be an actor as well as a singer, but it's definitely something that intrigues me. But I think the main thing for me, like you said, Drew, was just I've always studied Elvis's movements, and I'm on stage and I'm singing these songs. And I know exactly what he's doing in these parts, so it's just taking on that character. That's amazing. I'd say so.
Are you going to do that bit where he lies down on the floor and just goes, I'm just going to stay here?
I'm just going to stay here with the leg up in the air. I know. There's so much that I've even took away from the new EPiC movie. I mean, with the 50s stuff, I've started even grabbing a microphone stand and putting it on top of my head and stuff like that. Nice. Even that, it was a special moment in Graceland because when I was doing some shows during the Elvis birthday, I'm doing these songs and everything, and Jerry Schilling, Elvis's best friend, was sat on stage whilst I'm doing my performance, and he was one of the producers and of this new EPiC movie. So he actually put a lot of these clips together with the producers and Baz. And as I'm doing the show, I've turned around to Jerry and Angie Marchese, one of the heads at Graceland. I've said, watch this. And I've grabbed the microphone stand and put it on top of my head because everyone saw the new EPiC movie the day before and they would have seen Elvis doing that. And then I was able to do that. And then just those little things, just adding all these new things to the performance from this unseen footage. That's what I've been so excited for.
Because he was so quirky, wasn't he? Like, that's why you enjoyed it, because he was just taking the mick out of people, trying to scare people on stage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like, he's having fun, you know.
When the bra lands on the stage and he's looking at it,
I've been able to do that before. I mean, normally it's normally the knickers, but they're never knickers. They're parachutes, more like, to be honest.
Wow, okay.
But no, we have some fun. I think that's what I gravitate towards of Elvis. I think he's just, you could be the best singer in the world, but it's the way he sort of engaged with an audience and his band members. It was just so much fun. It was just such a fun sort of atmosphere it seemed to be around. Yeah. And I try to recapture that with our shows as well.
Well, I was going to say, what I loved, one of the moments in EPiC that I loved is you see them in rehearsals. I love the fact that they jump cut from rehearsals, kind of the planning, and then you kind of see it in execution.
The final product, yeah.
It's mind-blowing. But what I love about is they'll do something, then he'll have an idea, and you see his kind of lightning ideas and go, wait, I know how we should end this. And he's like, he points at them, they keep going, and they try something out, and he's just kind of like interacting with all the different people and trying different things out and finding the rhythm and the harmony of the group to finish it, to make it that big finish for the audience. Like,
that's incredible. The thing. I think Elvis didn't write any of his songs. I think he covered a lot of the songs, and songs are written for him. But people don't give Elvis the credit for his conducting skills. Like you were saying there, in a lot of the rehearsals, he would come up with ideas for the backing vocals, how to come in, whether it be oohs or ahs, and like what register they should be in for harmonies and stuff like that. And it's so genius how he can just hear this in his head whilst he's just rehearsing the songs. He'll just get this lightning idea, like you said, and then all of a sudden it just comes together. And that's just through Elvis's ideas, where he's just musically gifted.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get the credit. He doesn't, and I feel like he may get the credit a bit more now after people go to see this epic movie.
Yeah, they've seen it for real, haven't they? Because he's like, he can do operatic tenor vocals, you know, he's got such a range on him as well. But he had to pick his band appropriately, didn't he, as well? Because some people were like classically trained and couldn't mix it up to what he wanted.
Yeah.
So he had to get fluid.
That's the thing. I think Elvis could do anything. Like, he could sing opera, he could do the country, he could do the gospel, he could do rock and roll. And I think it was great for him, but also a burden, because he's trying to find the right people who can do all of that to still be able to sort of help him out with his songs and his shows. But I think Elvis doesn't get the credit he deserved for how amazing his voice was as well. People automatically think of Hound Dog and Suspicious Minds, but then when he's singing this How Great Thou Art, Unchained Melody, all these amazing, massive songs, it's amazing to really hear. It's like, it's completely different to the guy that you saw in the 50s doing Blue Suede Shoes and Hound Dog.
Yeah. Like I do love it. I do love the early stuff, but like when you hear like Bridge Over Troubled Water, that is the epitome of that song. There is no better version. And usually, and Sadie will hate me bring this up because I am a big fan of, I'm Beatles. I was never Elvis.
Yeah, I'm a Beatles fan. I've done a show at the Cavern Club. Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, I've done a show at the Cavern Club with the Creoles. It was a great show. We loved doing that.
Amazing. But some of the best, like, even I can't even argue with Sadie, because we argue all the time, because she brings up Elvis all the time.
Yeah.
And I sometimes try to counter argue and go, this is why I like the Beatles and stuff like that. And then every time Elvis sings a Beatles song, it winds her up, because I go, that's Beatles. And she's going, shut up. Well, he can still sing it better than they can. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Well, I think the Beatles are amazing myself. I'm a massive fan of the Beatles, but I'm going to have to take Sadie's side. The Beatles do not compare anywhere near to Elvis.
Well, I love that you said that.
There we go. I'm taking Sadie's side.
But even like that, like when he's in a documentary, he was singing a little bit of
Something in the way, isn't it? Something in the way she moves.
Yeah, something in the way she moves. Yeah.
And he just goes, oh, a bit risky.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it does.
But that's because it's the 70s, you know.
I love that. Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. And then even the way he gets his band to play it, like it can be so different to some of the original versions. Like if you hear the Poke Salad Annie version, the actual original, it's so different to Elvis's version. And if for the people who haven't seen EPiC yet, and people who listen to the podcast, you need to see EPiC just to watch the Poke Salad Annie clip that they've got in there. It's a new unseen bit, new unheard audio, and it's just so great to hear.
And
it's
again,
so
it flips
cool.
back and forth. That's what's the good bit, isn't it? Because it's like the intro, oh, here's an idea, then it cuts to life, and the volume goes up. So
and you actually notice as well, like from rehearsal, he does it a lot slower, but then in the live performance, it's actually like he's actually picked up the tempo quite a bit because of the live show. He's just sort of getting the adrenaline.
I was just going to say as well, the way he creates the theatrical part where the light, the spotlight goes on him, and it's like you're in a bubble just with him.
No.
And then he kind of brings it back, and then the blackout goes, and it's back to color, like an explosion, a tapestry of explosion and sounds, and then everything kicks back in. But it's like he just brings you in with his charisma and his ability.
And I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Elvis didn't give those sort of instructions to the lighting people as well.
That's what I was like. No, that's what I was thinking, man. Like
the way that he conducts his band, I wouldn't be surprised if he has this whole idea for that actual whole aspect of the show as well.
Yeah. How he visually can see it. It's like he's imagining what the audience is seeing in his head, and how he wants to kind of craft and orchestrate it.
And especially at the International, because he was there for so long, he would have known, maybe the first few performances, maybe not, but after then he was like, they really reacted when you put the light over there, so let's do that again.
I've been lucky enough to perform on that very stage. Actually, I was there. So it's the Westgate. So, it's called the Westgate now, obviously the International, but I was on that very stage that Elvis done, I think, 600 sold out plus shows. And what's so special about this EPiC, there's unseen footage of Elvis walking backstage and everything. And that elevator that Elvis gets to at the end of the movie is the elevator that I would have got onto after my show and going up towards the show. And when he's sat around in the backstage area where he gets Charlie Hodge to do that weird face and everything staring down the camera, that was my dressing room whilst I was there for the show. So being able to see all these moments, just Elvis in that, like that really, that was emotional for me. That was like a moment where I was like, wow, that's just so special that I've been able to experience that. And you can really feel the presence of Elvis if you ever get the chance to go to Vegas, go to the Westgate, because you can really feel the presence of Elvis there.
Oh my God. Like, I was going to say to Drew as well. I don't know if Drew knows. I'm sure you do. Obviously, like Cissy Houston was one of the backup singers.
Yeah,
Whitney Houston's mum.
that's right.
Wow.
She was in the film.
Yeah.
And he's
Cissy
just like,
Houston.
Yeah, just joking around with her and stuff.
Is that the one he scares? He scares one of them. Bah!
Yeah, I can't remember which one Sissy is. That's the thing. I always forget, but I'm pretty sure that she was. There's a version of I Lonesome Tonight where he's laughing. So he does the bald head that he does in EPiC, but there's also a version where he's just laughing throughout the whole thing. And Cissy Houston has her headphones on and she doesn't realize what's going on, and she's just going on doing this high registered notes. But like Elvis is just finding it so funny that she's carrying on.
Yeah.
But Cissy Houston, yeah. So I believe that Whitney would have gone to a few of the shows and possibly met Elvis, which is a crazy meeting of worlds right there.
Yeah. So what frustrates me about, like, again, I say this sort of thing all the time, but like we're a little bit older, we're in our 40s, and we weren't alive during him being alive, but I didn't realize how close I was born to his death. You know, it was only a few years later. Same with, like, you know, John Lennon and stuff like that. I was almost in the same world as them, but never can. And I think it's a sadness that he is, you know, it's just a sadness is that he's not around anymore. And these sort of epic people that should have been, and it was only bad management that kind of,
I would say so. There's a lot, to be honest. There's a lot. I think Elvis was worked too hard. That's for sure. I think the Colonel gets a bad rap, and I think there's good reason for it. But then also at the same time, I feel like Elvis wouldn't be as relevant now. I have to be careful with what I'm saying with stuff like this, but yeah, he wouldn't be as relevant now if it wasn't for the Colonel's advertising. I think the Colonel as a promoter was a genius. In like, for example, when Elvis got drafted into the army for 1958. In 1958, Elvis was made sure to be in the studio before he got drafted to record all these albums and all these songs, so the Colonel can keep him relevant whilst he's away for 2 years in the army.
Yeah,
so the Colonel was releasing
musically,
exactly. Yeah. Colonel was releasing all these amazing songs and keeping Elvis relevant.
And pretty much he invented merchandise.
Yeah. Even like the I like Elvis and I hate Elvis badge. Like, you know what? It's a way people just don't agree with it. But then at the same time, he's profiting off the people who don't like Elvis as well, which is his fault.
I was about to say that's genius though, because technically it's still got his name. Because even if you remove the hate part, Elvis is still constantly present in people's minds.
Exactly. It's any bit of advertisement. But I think the Colonel, I think he gets a bad rap, which is understandable. Definitely, I think Elvis was worked too hard. He was worked some days, like it says at the end of the EPiC movie, 3 days, 3 shows in one day, and that's no one should be doing that amount. And that would happen regularly at a certain point in Elvis's career. But the fact that he wasn't able to keep it fresh and travel the world like he wanted to, I think if Elvis was able to go on the world tours, like coming over to Europe, going over to Asia, I think that would have kept him young, and that would have kept him in a better mental health, definitely, because it would have been something new to him to look forward to, which is a shame.
I was just going to say, because like just to kind of carry on what you were saying with the 3 shows, when you see what he gives 170%. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To every, like, especially that bit where he's like shaking and the music keeps building, keep building. He's completely building to those kind of crescendos, and he just it's like he's performing, even though it was quite a small space. It didn't look like he was performing to like millions of people, right? But it felt like he was doing Glastonbury, the kind of energy.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine how he did Glastonbury? Like, it's like...
that's the thing. He should have been at places like this. And it's sad seeing like being able to see artists like Tom Jones still doing these amazing shows, selling out
Yeah.
like venues, going to these amazing festivals, Elton John, and it just makes me think that like if Elvis was properly taken care of, like he could have been doing the same thing, which is so sad. But at the same time, I mean, for his short career which he did have, that even though he left us so soon, the fact that he's still so relevant now shows that he's in a league of his own compared to these other entertainers.
And he's
But
basically inspired everyone. Like again, go to
yeah,
Beatles. Beatles would not have existed. John Lennon copied his hair, copied
yeah,
his guitar, picked up a guitar because of Elvis. So even if Paul McCartney existed, Beatles never would have got together. That would never have been a thing.
yeah. Well,
So
I watched a great movie actually the other month. It was more about John Lennon, um, and like when he was with the Quarrymen. What's that movie called? It was
was it John?
um,
No,
what was it? Sorry.
John and Ono that came out in the cinema the other year.
No, it wasn't that one. It was one from a while back. I'll have to think of the name and send it to you because I think if you're a Beatles fan, you'll love that. But it basically tells more about John Lennon's story about how he sort of become into it and then how he met Paul and then how then the Beatles then later got together. But it's really interesting. But no, like you said, I think Elvis paved the way for a lot of artists, especially within the colored side of the music at that time because times were so different back then. A lot of these African Americans weren't able to break into the music scene, but Elvis sort of he gets a bad rap saying that he stole off these people, but he grew up with that music and that was just all the music that he knew really what he grew up with. And he actually was very good friends with a lot of these guys. And he definitely opened the doors to a lot of these people like Little Richard, for example.
Yeah,
So I think Elvis is loved by everyone really.
That's what I loved about the documentary. If I'm honest, it kind of it diluted that idea of it being plagiarism because there was always
Yeah,
that thing that it looked like he stole music that
yeah,
didn't belong to him, so to speak. But when you genuinely see how all of his passions align, even the whole thing with the church and having that
yeah,
kind of like operatic and kind of yeah,
gospel.
gospel. That's the word. Yeah, thanks.
yeah,
That kind of gospel kind of blues, swing, rock and roll. Like he had a
yeah.
whole amalgamation of passions and talents, and that comes across so well in the documentary.
That's actually one of my favorite scenes. Obviously, like throughout the show, throughout the movie, sorry, you can see Elvis obviously on stage and everything. But I love seeing the bits where he's off stage, where he would just be singing the gospel music for hours with the band with the backing vocals. And there's one song that's just been playing in my head. It's called "Nearer My God to Thee," where he's just absolutely belting out this gospel song and he's just going for it. And it's like after this like 2 hour long show, there's been a long day for him, and he's just wanting to wind down by singing the music that he loves, which is gospel music. I just think that's just so powerful. I think that just shows the human side of Elvis rather than the entertainer side. That
Yeah,
he was happiest when he was around the music that he loved.
and like what you brought up earlier, I think it's a very old school way of thinking now that and I think it's a weak argument that Elvis stole black music, which I really don't think it did. And I think a while back, most people believed that. And I think it's these things coming to light, these films, these documentaries showing that he had a passion for music. He grew up in black culture
Yeah,
because his dad went to prison, obviously, as we know, and he
yeah,
ended up going to a poorer area and growing up within
yeah,
the black community. And that made a big impact on his life. And he didn't steal anything. He just sang what he enjoyed singing. And
exactly. Yeah,
unfortunately, the world was racist back then. So
yeah,
the white kid would get more popular than the black kid would, even if they're singing the same stuff. But the controversial part is that it's the same with today's society. If I don't know who's appropriate today. If Taylor Swift did something mad today, that would
yeah.
boost her up, not be a negative for her. If
Of
she did
course.
something controversial, that would be positive for
Well,
her.
my argument for it straight away is when people say that Elvis was racist or Elvis was stealing music from the African American black community. My argument straight away is that when Elvis was on tour, his backing singers, the Sweet Inspirations, were African American, and there was a few venues that wouldn't allow them to be on the stage part of the show, but Elvis basically turned around to those venues and said, "Right, well, you're not going to get me here tonight if these girls aren't allowed to be on the stage with me." So
Yeah,
he grew up with this community, and I think that's where Elvis's music really did come from. His passion for music, his soul, even like the way he couldn't help but dance. Like that comes from the gospel choirs and the gospel churches, that they just let the music take over them. And I think that's what happened with Elvis. And
I love it. He goes, what is it? He goes, my mom ain't offended by my dancing, so
exactly,
I don't know what else thinks.
Oh yeah,
exactly,
yeah,
exactly. There's so many great scenes that just links to that. But I think what Baz has done, really, he's put Elvis in a different light, where people have definitely been able to understand him as a performer and a character a lot more now, which I think is great.
All the negatives that people remember from the 50s are the reason that they helped promote him. The wiggling of the hips, yes, it was, and he thought it was a negative then because he got attacked and he got taken off air and stuff like that. But that's the thing that created that.
It's crazy to imagine. Imagine if Elvis didn't do those wiggling of the hips, you probably wouldn't be seeing some of these artists now doing what they're doing on stage.
He's the full package, isn't it? If he was an amazing singer, great, but there's no character there.
Exactly, that's what people gravitate towards.
Yeah, he could have been a 20% less good singer and still been just as big.
Oh, 100%. People gravitate towards the personality. That's what it is. You can be the best singer, but if you don't have that engagement with an audience and have that fun side as well, people will just get bored. But
I mean, he had quite a tight engagement with his audience, didn't he? Probably a little bit too much.
A little bit too much sometimes, I think. But I mean, it makes...
Some of the things I was witnessing, like when that Golden starts getting off with him, and he's like, "Yeah, sure."
I know. I think
it's the
some of these elder lady at my shows are thinking that they're in an actual Elvis concert and trying to recreate some of those moments, but I have to remind them that I'm not the actual thing.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. That is mad what you go through in a live performance. The women go crazy. They know he's not him, but it's insane.
I had it the other week. It was funny. So I like you said, I tried to recreate some of the scenes from some of Elvis's performances. When I was doing the 68 comeback special section of the show, this was 2 or 3 weeks ago. I would sit down on the side of the stage like Elvis did and have some of the audience members around them. So look at the t-shirt. I see it. Who's representing? Let's go. Woo! Look at that. Oh, I love that. I love that. Drew, you send me your address, I'll send you one as well.
That's a clip. Yes, please, bro.
got the Emilio t-shirt.
I love that. But yeah, so I was sitting on the side of the stage, and the audience members would gather around like we're trying to recreate Elvis's memories scene from 68 Comeback Special. As soon as when I'm singing that, every part of my leg is being rubbed up and down and whatever. I'm like, all right, just focus on it. Just go along with it, whatever. But then at the end of the song, when I'm trying to get up, this 2 ladies pulled me down, and I'm led on my back on the stage now. I'm trying to get up, but I'm getting pinned down. And this lady was trying to plant her lips on my lips, and I'm like trying to wriggle out of it, but I couldn't get out of there, and she actually just about hit me on the lips. So I was like, right. So like it's crazy.
She's like, let's recreate someone else. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, no, let's not do that, Doris.
see, like performing live, like I know you were younger, but I would have said like, when you've got your makeup on, now I can tell you're younger. That's why I asked. I was like, you look younger than even I thought you were. I'd assume like late 20s, like 27, 28.
Yeah,
like,
I think the
you
power of
remind your
makeup.
audience how young you are. That's
yeah, the power of makeup. I mean, I never thought that when I was growing up playing football and rugby and all these different sports that I'd be on these stages wearing a face full of makeup. But it's part of the act now. I think it sort of helps me get in the zone, get in the character. And you see a lot of these Elvis tributes that do it as well. But I think when I'm doing it, I mean, I know it's all for a good cause. I'm trying to sort of capture the best looking man to ever walk this planet. So I think a bit of makeup definitely helps.
He's crazy. He's crazy enigmatic, isn't he? Like I was watching the documentary, you're just fixated. You can't take your eyes off him.
Especially in that EPiC as well. I don't know what's so different, but it's the way that they're able to capture Elvis. Like I've been able to watch the That's the Way It Is concerts before, the Elvis on tour, all the different footage that they've had of Elvis live on stage and off stage. But the way that they capture Elvis, his humor and everything off stage, and just you could just tell he had this like aura around him. Like when I've spoke to people who actually worked with Elvis, they said that they wouldn't have to hear him or be looking towards the door they can just tell as soon as he's entered a room, just from his aura. Like he just
the
had
atmosphere
this
changes,
just automatically, and you can just tell that through the videos, the way that people are just gathered around him, and they look like they're just fixated with him.
I was just thinking, you know, Happy Days, you know, the TV. I don't know if you've heard of the TV show, but I wonder if that's inspired by Elvis as well, because the Fonz feels like
the Fonz.
feels like Elvis. Because when you see Elvis like behind the scenes, he's just so witty, like, and he's just.
I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised. I mean, the amount of people and like shows who have been sort of inspired by Elvis. There's so many that people just don't even realize, and even just characters. I think I was offered to, like, one of the acting roles that I was offered was in a soap series on BBC. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it was a barber. It was a barber character who was, and they were based in the 50s, but they based the barber around Elvis's sort of persona and character. But like the amount of shows that must do that just basically give a script to someone and like, just watch Elvis. Like, I want you to be a bit like this. Like it's a crazy way to think of it.
I think Elvis has been in my life every day, apart, not even just like Sadie playing the music, literally genuinely every day. It's the only thing that's in the car as well. But it comes up so often you don't notice. Like you're watching TV or you're watching a film and there's a song or there's a mention or there's a joke and it's something commenting or it's something like that. It's in the zeitgeist so much that you literally can't escape it. And if no one knew much about Elvis and watched like EPiC or the film Elvis, I guarantee all the way through they'll be going, oh, I recognise that. Oh, I recognise that. If they've never listened to him in his life. Even
the new Lloyd's TSB advert has got "If I Can Dream." Like the hot music played for it is "If I Can Dream." But I couldn't agree more with you what you just said there, Kev, because the amount of people. Obviously, I've got my friends within the Elvis community, but I've got my friends that I've grew up with at school who don't really listen to Elvis, and they say they'll be saying to me about Elvis, and they're so supportive of what I do as a career. But I'll be saying to them like, "Oh, do you know any Elvis songs?" Like, "No, I don't know any songs." I was like, "Right, I bet you do." I'll play "Suspicious Minds." "Oh, I know that one." "Burn of Love." "I know that one." "Always on My Mind." "Limitless Conversation." There's so many number one hits that people don't realize that they know. And they don't realize that Elvis, but it's these last few years that people are actually getting educated about how much they know already about Elvis, but then they're going into a deep dive, wanting to find more songs that they never heard before, that they then end up becoming an Elvis fan and come to the shows. That's what I found with the Elvis movie coming out.
I was going to say, my father-in-law, Leif, whenever we go to Sweden in Gävle, I remember the first time I went there, to meet obviously my parents-in-law. And he's got this amazing kind of barber, like a built-in kind of barber shop that he's built. It's like stepping back into the 1950s, and he's an amazing barber.
Oh wow.
And I remember him saying, "Oh, I'm gonna sort you out with a haircut and stuff," and he did an amazing job. But you've got like Elvis music playing, you've got like this, it is like stepping back, it's like a time machine stepping back into that era. I kid you not. And on the wall, you've got loads of Elvis merchandise. You've got like jigsaws on the wall that he's completed, like photographs, him like on stage. And it's just, he's a huge fan of Elvis. And every time
Elvis people are obsessive, they can be like,
oh yeah, man. But every time you pick us up from the station, from the airport, you can hear the music playing as we're getting close to the car, and then the door pops open, and there's Elvis. And there's Leif listening to Elvis, and it's like, woo! And you get into
the car. Thing. I think, I mean, Elvis. I think even in these last few years, I think it's become a lot cooler that like a lot of people have been more interested in the 50s and the 60s style. Like I'm looking in a lot of these stores now, and they're wearing like all these 50s and 60s clothing, which I've always loved. But now I'm seeing people wear these baggier trousers that they would have worn in the 50s, and I think the style's definitely coming back. But no, 100%. I'm looking forward. I've been offered to. Well, I'm going to be in Iceland in May, and hopefully we're going to be going to Sweden as well in the future. So that's one place that I'd love to go.
Oh, sweet.
I'll have to stop into the father-in-law to get me a trim.
Mate, I'll tell Leif. I mean, that would be mind blowing. That would be.
You can come on tour with me. Make sure my hair's proper before every show.
I can't wait for him to see EPiC. I was telling Sarah the other day. I was like, your dad Leif is going to absolutely love EPiC because I almost can't believe that footage exists. And it was not everybody could get a ticket to go see him, especially people that lived in another country. Because like we were saying, I think that would have been one of Leif's dreams to be able to see Elvis, and that's what I think EPiC truly is a gift for all of the Elvis fans in all of the countries that he could never get to. Like you said at the very beginning of this episode, he's sharing his legacy through screen that's going to just go to every single country in the world, hopefully.
That's why it's not mad to watch this film like 10 times in a week, because it's basically a concert with some bonus
exactly
bits.
It's like you're just going back to the tour. It's like you're just like every like sort of tour, like our theatre tour that we're doing this year, we're doing the same show in every theatre for this year. So it's like there's plenty of people that will come watch us in Liverpool and then come watch us, say, in Stockport or Manchester. So like it's exactly like that. But I love it that people are going back, because it's supporting the brand, and like it's then in the future, if it's done so well this time, they're gonna want to come do it again. So keep on going to watch EPiC, guys, because they'll bring out some more stuff in the future, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's the amount of jumpsuits. You like have hundreds of jumpsuits, because you wear a different outfit every night, which seems impossible for the 600 shows. But new stuff, they're all diamond encrusted. On EPiC, my favorite outfit is just his casual purple shirt that he's wearing while he's just practicing.
Oh yeah. Like, I mean, he had such a unique style, and I think Elvis sort of, he was definitely one of the icons when it comes to like the way people, if Elvis had big sideburns, people then all of a sudden got big sideburns. And I'm looking at a few of the like Benson Boone right now, like, and everything. I'm looking at some of his outfits, and you can just tell that these guys are inspired by what Elvis would have worn. Like, I think if I was a musician now, I would automatically go back to see what Elvis would wear on stage, because he was like one of the first type of people who come up with this whole idea of stagecraft. Like we were saying about, you can be the best singer, but adding these amazing costumes adds another element to the show that people are excited, like, oh, what jumpsuit's Elvis going to wear tonight?
Yeah.
And like people, he's just genius all around.
I mean, with that, like talking about the fashion stuff, and want to go a little bit into Graceland for a second, if you don't mind. But me and Sadie popped down to London about 6 months ago. They brought part of the exhibition from Graceland to London. I'm sure you knew it, at the near London Bridge. So
I'll speak about that in a minute after, but this will have to be off camera because I'm not allowed to say some of the things. But,
okay.
But yeah, go on.
Yeah, and we got to hold his belt, and you realise how tiny the man. Well, maybe not tiny. He was big.
Yeah,
guy.
No, he was a 30-inch waist in that time when he was handed that belt. He was 30-inch waist.
We got given his belt to hold and stuff like that, and some of these items of clothing, stuff like that, which you have to wear special gloves for. And I'm like, it did not go through around my waist at all.
I'm
going to try and find my phone here to show you. So
I'm not surprised though. Like the amount of energy he gave. Like, didn't he say he lost 6 pounds a night or something?
He will. Yeah, he has said that before.
Like from just sweat and pure jumping and energy, and
he's good. Yeah, exactly.
Probably trying to kiss his way out of like places. Like that's going to use a lot of energy too.
but like, Sadie hates London, so we used to live there. So she hated going back, but she was excited for the exhibition. And as soon as we came back, she wanted to go back again.
Well, that was at the Arches, wasn't it? Is that the one you're on about? The Arches?
Yeah.
So this wasn't long after I won the competition that they started packing it down. So I had a message from Graceland, and they were asking if I wanted to come help pack down the whole exhibition. So here's me with Elvis's gold lame suit.
Oh my God!
So I'm basically my whole job, me and Elvis's jumpsuit. So my whole job was basically to pack down all of this stuff, and I was cleaning Elvis's jumpsuits before they went in. I was having to like steam some of his shirts and stuff. There's my buddy there.
You weren't allowed to touch them. They're all behind glass cages.
No. And then
humans are not allowed.
You have to wear like white. Yeah, there's the white gloves. Oh, I'm sorry about the glare, but there's the white gloves that you have to wear.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah.
We still got a pair of white gloves. Don't know why.
You can see it. But like, it was such an amazing experience. But then even getting to see like this right here is you can't really see much of it, but this is the leather outfit that Austin Butler wore for the movie that they brought over.
Oh yeah.
So I was able to I was having to clean that down and everything. So I was able to see how exactly they sort of made some of these outfits, and it's given me ideas on how to sort of add little bits in for my shows now.
I mean, he almost put as much effort into that film as you do on a daily basis.
I mean, Austin Butler, seriously, I think he had a tough job because the Elvis fans are so critical when it comes to Elvis, and that's why a lot of the Elvis tributes get some slate. But I think they're so critical when it comes to someone sort of portraying their idol, their guy.
Yeah.
And Austin Butler, I think COVID definitely came in with some help because he was able to have that extra time to study him. But what he was able to do to sort of capture Elvis, he should have won way more awards from what he did, because it was so accurate with some of the things he did, and you can tell that he not only has he studied him, he grew a genuine love for Elvis, and he became so close with Elvis's daughter Lisa Marie, and she was so appreciative, and she was always a bit hesitant to have people play the character of her dad. But the way that when she first saw the screening of how Austin portrayed Elvis, she got very emotional. So I have nothing but respect for Austin, what he was able to do in that movie.
And he kept that accent going for a couple of years.
Yeah,
right?
he had it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I need to practice my accent, to be honest, because I don't bother doing an accent on stage, because automatically I just go back into my Somerset accent when I'm over here in the States.
Oh, when we heard you speak for the first time, we were like, "What? I thought he was American."
Yeah, no, Western Supermare. Who are? I've got a brand new combat harvester.
That's mad.
Everyone thinks that's where I'm from as well. I'm
To be
Scottish.
honest, I thought you sounded a bit like you were from Somerset.
Oh, you prick! You had to.
No,
Somerset's lovely. Somerset's lovely.
No. It's definitely not. It's got some nice areas.
No, I think that's the Hampshire in you, Kev.
No, Somerset's beautiful. I'm not calling her a prick for that, because Sadie's going to laugh her arse off at that. Because I tell people I'm Scottish. I tell everyone I'm Scottish. Every Scottish person I meet, I meet multiple people a day in my job, always say I'm Scottish. Every English person goes, "Are you from Bristol or Somerset?" And it's because I moved down.
No,
so
you
young,
definitely.
I've got a
No,
twang.
you definitely sound Somerset.
Yeah, no, I'd be very proud to be from that area, but I'm not, and everyone thinks I am. Sadie keeps going, "Stop telling people you're Scottish. You're not." I'm like,
from
no.
Somerset.
But the fact you've said it, that's just going to nail that coffin shut for me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Emilio's like the farmer that becomes an American icon. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
I know. You've done
I don't know about that. Jeez, I don't know about that.
We're about to go to Graceland. Have you got any advice of where to go in Memphis, where not to go, or?
So there's plenty of things to do in Memphis, and there's plenty of places to avoid in Memphis. It's one of those things. I think America is a completely different country to obviously what England is. It can be a lot more dangerous, but that's like anywhere in the world. You're going to find your dangerous places the places.
It's mad at the moment politically as well.
It is. But Memphis is honestly one of my favorite places in the world. I think, being an Elvis fan, obviously, but being a music fan, I love Memphis and Nashville. They're the most amazing places, and up there with Liverpool as well. I'd say Liverpool's up there with them. But I would say you obviously want to go to Graceland. That's what you'll do. You'll see all the exhibitions, but then you want to make sure you go to Sun Records, where Elvis obviously recorded his first "That's All Right Mama, My Happiness," and his first 2 years becoming a star. Was all the stuff was recorded there, as well as Johnny Cash was there, Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, Roy Orbison. All these greats really come from there.
Bob Dylan went there just to get a photo taken on the spot.
Exactly. It just shows like the influence that Elvis had. But there's even the Stax Museum. So a lot of the soul artists, Al Green, Ray Charles, like they would have gone to this recording studio called Stax, which Elvis also recorded an album at Elvis at Stax album. So that's a really interesting tour as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want to go to Beale Street, go to BB King's. BB King's, they've got some of the best blues and some of the best blues music and some of the best food in Memphis. But also, what I would say, the only thing else I would say about Beale Street is don't go there past after dark, because it gets too dangerous then.
Right. Okay.
But that's the one thing I would say. Just don't go after dark. Stay in like a place where you feel safe after dark, and you'll be fine.
Well, we're staying next door to in the Graceland Hotel, so literally next
at the guest house. But you'll love it. You'll love it. That's where I'm going to be on Thursday. That's where I always stay, and it's amazing. They'll have Elvis movies playing every night in the guest house theater. From a certain time, they'll be serving peanut butter and jelly sandwiches at 9 p.m. for free. So yeah, you'll love it. You'll love it. It's such an amazing place, and the way that they've been able to sort of incorporate the exhibitions over the road and keep it fresh. You'll see the new EPiC exhibition that they've just released as well. So there's plenty to see. There's plenty to see. That. Yeah, you'll love it. You'll love it.
Oh, amazing. Well, we want to come see you again because I know you're playing Liverpool in October. And
so we're going to be at the St. George's Hall. So make sure you send me a message. I'll be able to get you guys tickets whenever you want to come to a show. So just
legend.
Don't ever pay for tickets. It'll be my pleasure to have you guys there.
Oh, mate, I was also going to say, like, I'm zero pressure on this, but I'm a photographer and I mainly do sort of live music, quite a lot of metal stuff and things like that. So if you wanted any sort of fresh shots or anything like that, especially not just live shots, but portrait shots, like
I'll get you a backstage pass. We're always looking for stuff like that.
Yeah,
100%.
Kev is super talented, man. The eye he has for shots is on point.
Awesome. Wow. Oh yeah, that one eye.
That one.
Just that one.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
If he does it with that one, you're screwed. But that one.
Yeah, right. Well, you stick to your left eye or right eye. I don't know which way. This is panned right now, but
no, amazing, man. Emilio, thank you so much for coming on. Because I know you're like busy. You're like about to, what are you doing? Are you about to go and do a show, or what are you up to?
No, I'm actually chilling. I came over a bit early to see some friends. I'm going over to obviously Broadway tomorrow, like I was saying, to watch this Bobby Darin musical. Because I don't ever get a chance to actually see all these places whenever I fly to America. But luckily, I've had a bit of time off, so I was able to spend some time over here and actually see some sights, which I'm really excited for. But the main event will be kicking off on Thursday. I'll be going over to Memphis and we'll be doing some shows at Graceland, which is going to be amazing.
If only we'd timed our holiday a bit better, we could have come and seen you in Graceland.
Oh, it's fine. We can do it in the future. We can do that in the future. You can be my official photographer on the road with me in the future.
There we go. That's what Stadium will be angling on forever.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Get both of them going. Come on, boys.
You can't do a left-handed
one.
Oh, yeah.
Very hard.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. We'll let you have the rest of the day to yourself. All right. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, man. Emilio, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed chatting to you guys. Let me know what you think of Graceland, and both of you, just send me a message anytime if you want to come to a show. Mate, and we'll sort it out.
You absolutely legend, man.
Well up for that.
Thank you, dude.
All right.
Spot
See you
on.
later, dude. Bye.
Thank you so much, guys. Take care.
Cheers, man.
This has been Rage Whale. Thanks for hanging out with us. We hope you had a whale of a time.
Thank you all for your continued support, and please do check out our other fun episodes with many great and interesting guests. And just to let you know, we're also on YouTube if you want to also watch us. But do give us a follow on Instagram and TikTok, and we'd love a cheeky 5-star rating on here if you had a moment. And if you do want to support us further, we do have merch. The links are here and on our socials. It's ragewhale.tmill.com. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.